How many of you know that there are three types of currency that life abides by? And if you don't, let's talk about it. Hey now, how is everybody doing? Welcome to Red Alert Diaries with Tanya E. Hood. Today, we're going to have a conversation about the three types of currency that life abides by. We don't often pay enough attention to it, but it does exist. The first one, a lot of us may be mindful that life abides by time. Yes. Time is a precious commodity. It's a thing that a lot of us do not feel like we have enough of, but it is also the thing that is a currency in life so that you can live it to the fullest. We often start off in our world full of time. You have all the time in the world, or so you think. And as we live a little bit longer, move on through the rest of our journey in this thing called life, we find that time starts speeding up. I have no idea what happens between the time that you are 8 and the time that you are 20. Time just starts to wants to take off. And then all of a sudden you find yourself in your 30s, 40s, and 50s. What? It's in that moment where we find ourselves carefree, full of fun, and then we start adulting. You know that time period where you enjoy just taking back, especially for me, for those of us that are developers. We enjoyed spending time reading our books, spending our time on the games that we enjoyed, because for those of you that may be a developer like myself, we enjoyed the moments that we have to just sit and think. But as you get older, it seems like more and more people are pulling on your time, asking more of you, and you don't have as much time as you desire to do the things that you truly want done because you got to show up, process, create. And it often puts you in a mode where you're analyzing and you don't have enough time to do that effectively. Hmm. Here's another currency that we often really mindful of because a lot of people are mindful of money being a currency. It's how life seems to be running. Money is what some people say makes the world go round. It isn't. But money is a good tool that you can use to help you get some of the things in life that you desire. See, when we think about money, money is typically the only thing that we think of as currency. I want to encourage you to be mindful that time is a greater currency than money because money comes and goes. It ebbs and flows like the river. But time, mm, time, once it's gone, is never returned. Because you can use your time to make more money, but you can't always use money to make your time. Now, granted, I agree that if you have enough money, you can get somebody else's time, pay them for their services, pay them for what they offer, so that you can use your time to do some other things. But when time is gone, it is never returned. But money, if you lose it, you can always get it back. Here's another thing about the currency. The third type of currency is knowledge. We don't think about knowledge being currency, but it's the power of the knowledge that you possess that gives you the ability to maximize the uses of the other two. Now, if you think about time, money, and knowledge as a foundational pillar, the three of those elements give you a foundational pillar that you can start paying better attention to. And if you're more mindful of it, you can maximize it and start living the lifestyle that you desire. And for those of us that are developers like me, you're always analyzing. So you spend your time analyzing and you use that time also to enhance your knowledge. Because for some of us, the skill set that you have that everybody's often seeking, you maximize and enhance that skill in time. You took the time that you needed to enhance the knowledge that you currently possess. And now, a lot of us in the world today, for those of us that are using all the various social media elements, the artificial intelligence, someone in their developer mindset took their time to create that. And for those content creators and those that do the things like I once shared, you were born on the earth to do. You took your time to enhance that knowledge. And combining that gives you the opportunity to get the money, which is the resource that a lot of people think of when they think of currency. Most of us only have 2/3 of this. We either have time and knowledge, no money, or we got money and time. And if you have just those two things, well, you can maximize the use of that and gain the knowledge. And then there's those of us that have the knowledge and the money and then no time. So you're running around trying to figure out how you can use the knowledge that you possess to get the extra money as a resource to get the currency of time back into your world. So these three interchange. But if you ever get the opportunity to find out how to maximize all three of them, oh, that right there, that is where transformation takes place. I know that many of us feel like we are laboring in vain because we don't have enough time, we have limited knowledge, and money is fleeting. If you only have one of those elements, do what you need to get the insight for the next. Because time plus money, you can buy knowledge. That's why a lot of us go to school. But then you find yourself deeper in debt. So you have time and knowledge, but not enough money because you have already spent it trying to get the knowledge. I place this in a form of a triangle because a triangle is the most basic structure of stability. And if you get all three of these put in place, then you will have the basic structure of ability that will support you on your journey. And here's another thing that I love about a triangle. It has three sides. So those three elements of currency always remind me of the Trinity because it is in the Trinity that I find myself being able to get the knowledge that I need. That's why it's listed on top, so that I can maximize the use of my time and money appropriately. That will give me the chance to develop the things that I want to develop, enhance the people I want to enhance, and maximize the skill sets that I know is needed in others because I want to support them. I want to help them. But how do I get them to truly understand what I'm trying to say? When I operate under that foundational element of stability and get all three types of currencies working on my behalf, I can be a better support to those that I would love to help build a better foundation for themselves and those around them. Because here's something that I realize. If you maximize the knowledge that you currently possess, it will give you the ability to maximize the time that you have. And when you put those two together, you'll get the third element of money that a lot of you are seeking. Because as a developer, or you're process oriented enough to create spaces and places that can utilize your skill set, your gifting, the knowledge that you bring. And it often means that you cannot do this alone. I know a lot of us like to think on our own, be on our own, and do what we can because you can think better if there's nobody bothering you. If you feel like you have time to just do what you know is a probable solution to make certain things well on your own, it will be better. I want to encourage you to know that anything that was ever grown and developed and enhanced, it took more than just one. So even though your introverted soul, which you may have, because normally developers have that internal space where they want to sit back on their own so that they can recuperate, even as an introvert, you need to have a team in order for you to go far, develop greater, bigger, and better things. So here's one thing I want you to do with the time that you have. I was definitely in the middle of the three C's. There comes a time when you will have to decide if you need clarification, connection, or closure about a person to determine how to move forward in the relationship. Some relationships need connecting. Some relationships need clarifying. You will need to take the time to determine what the relationship should be in order for it to be beneficial for both of you. I took the time to write down some things that I think will support you. The free chapter is available for you in the link below. Find someone that will do some of the action-oriented pieces that need to be done because most developers do not maximize the use of the action because you're spending so much time enhancing your knowledge and then you find that you are the most knowledgeable person in the room because you spent your time enhancing your knowledge, but you're probably the brokest person in the room as well. Let's not let that happen because if you have the resources of all three, the transformation that you can make is amazing. So if you find someone that is action oriented while you develop what you know will be beneficial because you spent your time doing it, they will put the action in place so that you'll have the financial resources, which will help you maximize. Then you'll have all three. And if you find yourself in a position where you're the individual that has money and you have time, you will waste it if you don't have knowledge. So find yourself a developer, someone that has thought about various things and enhanced their knowledgeable skill set. They will give you greater information about what you can do with your money so that the time that you have can be maximized and there you'll be transformed. And the reason I'm so passionate about these three currencies, because it's when I found time on my hands in the aftermath of my divorce that I needed to enhance my knowledge because the skill set that I had in one area was not easily transferred into another. So I had to gain excess knowledge. If you find you have time, enhance your knowledge on a broader scope because a lot of developers go deep. You go deep into one element, and there is nothing wrong with that because you become a master of that thing. But in order for you to expand how to effectively communicate the depth of your knowledge, you'll have to maximize expanding your time in another arena, which will then enhance your financial currency to help you get the support that you need. Because a lot of what I had when I finally got to the place where I enhanced my knowledgeable base with the time that I used, and I got a little bit of money, I found someone to do the mundane tasks because action is still needed. And a lot of us developers want to think deep. And as you're thinking deep, you're not always putting action into place. If you haven't heard me say, I need you to know that you had everything you needed from the very beginning. Your heart centered soul gives you the thought process to think deep for a lot of individuals because you know you want to be a solution in the world. And it is your value system that helps you be a great developer of supporting and helping and giving. But you have an action oriented part of your being that you may not be fully utilizing. So you take up the use of that maximized action, either be a support system for someone that will do the action or gaining excess knowledge to broaden your skill set so that you can develop the other elements that you need for this currency. Because it's going to take all three to get you where you need to be. And so for today, if you don't remember anything else I've shared, here's what I want you to remember. There are three types of currency: time, money, and knowledge. We typically only contain two out of the three, but if you find that you have two, maximize the use of them, tie them to your core values, and then you will be able to enhance and support the world around you. Because the developer in your soul wants to make certain that those around you are able to have a process in place that supports them so that they can have a life that is better suited for them. And if anything that I've shared today resonates with you, then it's time for you to reset. So I want you to like, comment, and share this information with others so that they can gain some insight about how they too can enhance the three types of currency. And if you want someone to join you on the journey, feel free to go to my website, tanyaehood.com. There you can click under the Work With Me tab and see the various ways that we can work with one another. And if you are on YouTube, you can join me live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we can continue the conversation or we can start a new one. In the meantime, this is Tanya E. Hood, walking in my purpose, and I want you to do the same.